I personally really believe in learning on the job, and most of my assignments from the start have been learning on the job. Yet I believe that if I can add value to the current assignment by learning from a course or an education which can add value, can enhance my skill sets, bring more to, I can then do my job better, and of course add so much more value to that assignment and to the organization. So my real big trigger is learning, truly to learn more about it. Like when I did my first course in 1997 with Public Venue Management School in Australia, in Curralbin, I was working with an event management company, which is India's largest organization called Viscraft Entertainment Agency, and I was heading the north. And as I came from a different field, I did not come from this field at all. I wanted to know a little bit more about what do the professionals do, how do they work professionally in this particular field. And interestingly enough, I just finished a project as a project leader of 50 years of India's independence celebration, and I interviewed and applied for this position, and a student position in public venue management school, and I was not able to get that initially because I was not an owner of a facility. The qualifier or the pre-qualification of a position in this is only if you own a facility, like a stadium or a convention center. But because my project of 50 years of India's independence education, 50 years of India's independence celebration was so huge that I was able to get that seat, and I studied that, and it was over 2 years. Fantastic experience, extremely beneficial to do the work, and subsequently we did 30 years of Mauritian independence. But more importantly, I learned from the other professionals what they do, how do they manage these big facilities, and at some point one understands it better. Then when you're also working outsourcing with other people and you're working with other people, you know a little bit more. You also can ask the right relevant questions. That's what the main motivator there was learning for me, but it was learning about the global economy and really understanding what is the role of strategy in entire economy, whether it's global or national. So that was also networking, because it was held in Bombay with the industry and over 4 days. It was a very, very beneficial input from many professors of Stanford, and we learned a lot. I learned a lot, and at that stage when I was doing that particular project, I was at Ernst & Young. So it helped me even to work along with and I was working with the India's Inc. all the time, and it helped me to understand the economy better. I learned one word, and that's reflection. We actually in that course sit and do every morning before the session starts, and it's over 18 months in 5 different countries, in 5 different universities. The same group meets for 10 days. It's very, very intense. It's very intensive. It's whatever MBAs are taught, we are taught all that. In addition to that, we are taught much more from each other's experiences, case studies. And I think the one word we learn is reflection. Every capsule, every module, every day starts in the morning of half an hour of reflection, which meant you talk about yourself, what did you learn the previous day, and what you're going to, thinking about today. And they encourage that you bring this to your companies, especially if you're, owning companies and your CEOs and managing directors. And till today, reflection has become my way of life. I actually reflect on everything I do every day. It's just that my chairman of Thought Perfect believed in my ability to be able to learn another skill of coaching and be able to, after getting certified, practice it and start sharing it with other members and other senior officials and other senior members of the corporate world. And it's actually, again, in coaching, it's all about experience. I think at some level, I do today believe that I have very amazing communication skills. I'm able to express what I really wish to say. And it's not come naturally. I had to learn it, because many times I also figured it out after doing my own 360 degrees with the leadership circle, which was brought in by Thought Perfect. I saw that I'm a super achiever, but I was paying a price. So I figured out some of the areas which I needed to work at. I started working on those. So I became more conscious, because there are self-limiting behaviors. Actually, the competency is one area. You know, you enhance it, you spend thousands of dollars, you go to Kellogg's or you go to Harvard's and you learn all that skills and you become more competent, or etc. But the self-limiting behaviors, which are the reactive tendencies of a human being, I only learned in this particular journey. So once I learned that, I was able to share it further, because I also used it on myself, or applied it to myself and learned some of those skills myself. But leaders can definitely be made, is my current thinking. However, the desire to be a leader and again to be a learner is what will make you reach to be that leader. Because if you're willing to look at yourself and reflect and understand and make a transit, basically transform yourself, to adapt yourself to the new thinking, to the requirement of the organization or the project or the people, that's when you can really be a leader. So according to me, it's really true that you can be made. Of course, there may be some leaders who are born, but I think each leader has to really work hard to be the best and to be able to deliver. But most importantly, I believe, is that a leader is that person who can compassionately understand and listen to the other person. Be it your client, be it your staff member, be it your colleague, be it your peers, because that is the person who is respected. If you are able to listen to the other person and not taking it personally, accepting it, that's their point of view. And then as a leader, if you know it better or you think can be done differently, you're able to again communicate without putting the other person down and saying, I agree, I understand, however, this could be another option. And that's again a skill which you learn when you learn in communication. But under everything, I believe authenticity is the key for being a leader. If you're authentic, you can be a leader. The 3 tenets for being an authentic leader is humility, honesty and integrity, and fearless. I'm still searching, and I'm happy that every day of my life I am going to spend consciously and purposefully, and I'm still searching for that final purpose of my existence, truly.